You know how when something goes wrong and we automatically start looking around for the defense of it? Who did it? Who can we blame? And we spend a lot of time doing that. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Who did it? And then we spend more time trying to defend ourselves. I didn't do it because. This is why I didn't do it. And then we start strategizing on why the other person did it and how they could have done it. And then we speak that. That's a lot of energy of our time on something that we don't need to spend time on. What if we were to spend that amount of time on, wow, I made a mistake. How could I have gotten better? And I'm sorry I did that, and I won't do it again. We don't spend a lot of time on that energy as we do on the blame energy. So accepting, and even if it isn't our fault, we can see how we can make sure that it will never be our fault by spending that time. And what if, when something bad happens and we start blaming everybody instead of thanking everybody for the lesson of life for that experience, even though we didn't want it and we didn't like it and it made us feel bad? What if we were to thank everybody for having that experience? So now we know what we don't want in our life because we did it. Now we know what we can look forward to in a new experience, because now we know we don't want that. So what do we want? And it ignites the curiosity in our brain to start saying, well, I know I don't want a relationship like that. What kind of relationship do I want? I know I don't want to be fat. So how do I want to look? I don't want to be sick. So how do I get healthy? So if we thank everything when something good happens, and we thank everything when something bad happens, we're living in an energy of appreciation for good and bad, and it brings balance into our lives. It's not easy to appreciate when bad stuff happens to us, but we must take responsibility, because if we're experiencing something bad, then we had something to do with it. If we experienced it, it's part of our life. And we have to take some sort of acceptance for it because it's in our experience. So stop blaming everybody. Stop defending yourself. Start seeing your part in the experience. And when you do this, you'll see that life is a beautiful thing. It isn't stressful. It isn't dramatic. It isn't traumatic. We make it that way because we thrive on those chemicals that our brain sends down when we are in that stress mode of that, ooh, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. It was them. It was them. Even if it wasn't you. Well, it wasn't me, but I definitely know that I'm not going to do that because you saw the experience of it. I really appreciate you watching and listening and experimenting in you and finding out what it is that you are as a person, and how do you get what you want, and how do you get what you don't want, and why does it matter? Because other people aren't in charge of that. Only we are. If we want something, we have to go get it. If we don't want something, we have to stop it. No one else has any power in our life. And when we think they do, it's because we rely on them and they think that we're needy. So if we prove to them that we're not needy, then we cannot blame them for our demise, and we cannot defend ourselves because it's obvious that it's our issue and we need to deal with it.